Erector is an interesting alternative HTML templating library for Ruby and Rails. If you've ever used Markaby, you'll be familiar with its general approach. It takes the approach of letting you write your views in pure Ruby using a block syntax. But it's a little bit different from Markaby in that the Erector views are true classes in their own right, and so you can do interesting things like inheriting views from each other. So if you have two views that just differ a little bit, you can just inherit one from the other and override only the methods that you need to. And this is useful for things like layouts. And generally, it's a kind of a more object-oriented approach to doing views. So I have a pretty fresh application here, and I thought I'd implement a first view in Erector, and this is a Rails 3 application. So first thing I'm going to do, of course, is I'm going to go into the public directory, and I'm going to get rid of that index.html so that that won't get in the way of navigating to the root. And let's see, I'm going to go into my routes file. And I'm going to put in a root route. And I'm just going to use the existing application controller for the home route. I'm going to give it an action called home. And of course, if we've got a routing for it, we also need the action. So I'm just going to do a little empty action here, def home. And while I'm in here, I'm going to do one other little update that we need to make this work, and that is to say layout nil. Like I said earlier, layouts in Erector are kind of done in a different way because they're done with inheritance. Alright, so far so good. But we haven't actually installed Erector into our application yet. So I'm going to jump over to the gem file. And this is a little tricky. As far as I can tell, there doesn't seem to be a stable gem, a published gem of Erector that works for Rails 3. So I'm going to use this specification here, which grabs the big fix fork of Erector and specifically grabs the Rails 3 tag. Actually, I think that should be branch. And let's make sure that installs okay. Alright, now that that's installed, I'm going to do one other piece of configuration. This is, from what I've read, this is just a little nitpick that you have to adjust for Rails 3 because Rails 3 doesn't auto-load classes in the view path. We need to change one application setting. So I'm going to go into config, application RB. And I'm going to go here and insert this line, adding the app directory to the autoload paths. Now to define our view. So I'm going to go to app views, application, home.rb. So I'm just defining a Ruby file here. And I've already got my content pre-prepared here. So what you can see here is that it's just a Ruby class, and the namespacing is the way you'd expect a Rails class to be. So it's views, application, home, which matches the directory that it's in, and then it inherits from the Erector widget class, and it has one method, the content method. This is the main entry method for Erector views, and this code in here is your basic Markaby. So if you've ever used Markaby, it's the same kind of builder, and we're just defining a title and a body. And I'm going to save that, and I'm going to pop over here to the browser. Oh, it would help if I started the server up. And there it is. So that's just a very very quick guide to getting up and running with Erector, and doesn't really cover any of its more interesting features. But maybe I'll put together another video to show some of the more advanced features.